Hello, I'm Wimpy. Welcome to my world. Another stream, Ubuntu Mate related. We're going to try and fix a bug. So live debugging, live coding, no pressure. This is a big problem that I've just discovered. Apparently it's been around for months. So we'll be getting into that. Bit of Python, bit of debugging. We'll see how that goes. Thank you everyone for joining in the stream. Right, you know the drill. It's the usual YouTube begging. We'll get this out of the way. Please like, subscribe, click the bell, select all. Really, really please do subscribe. I know that like 60% of you watch this and don't subscribe. Please subscribe. We're trying to get to 2,000 subs so we can turn the community tab on, which would be really helpful for this channel. So, whilst you're all dinging bells and smashing the like button, I'll just say hello to a few people. Loads of you have turned up. It's lovely when this happens. So hello Bill, hello BK, hello Ghost, hello Popey, hi TC, hi Kai, I think he's working on Ubuntu stuff. Hello Yannick, all names you've heard. LQ Larry, Marco Vaco, is that right? Beldux, hello. Maddis, Dalton, hello Dalton. I'm glad you like Python. Maybe you'll be of assistance this evening. Answers in the live chat, please, people, when I get stuck. Right then. Yes, a bug that's been around for months, and I had no idea. So let's go and have a look at this particular bug. This is in a bug in Mate Tweak. So let me. In fact, actually, the first thing we need to do is. Also, I've programmed up my Stream Deck so I can now switch things around a bit easier. So then, this is a VM. I'm going to just make this full screen. It may look a little blurry, but the idea is that I've just noticed Audacious is being a bit obtusely loud. We'll just calm that the heck down, shall we? How's that? Is that more like it? Feels a bit more like it. Right then. So, this isn't going to be a perfect aspect, but hopefully this will be visible to everyone. So, let's start with what Mate Tweak is for the uninitiated, because that's probably a good thing to start with. So, Mate Tweak is the tool that does this. Oops. Oh, look what happened there. Didn't like the screen being resized. Okay, we'll have to go with that. So, Mate Tweak is this thing that enables you to switch between the different layouts. So, there we go. This is the one that, broadly speaking, mimics macOS, and familiar is the default. So that's its purpose, but it has another facility, which is if you customize your layout, you can then save it and you can reload it. Turns out that doesn't work. So how did I find out that didn't work? I found out because somebody filed a bug. So I've got some bits loaded up. Oh, here's the Ubuntu Mate start page. This is what you see in Ubuntu Mate when you start your browser. You can even use the little spanner up here. Oh, I tell you, I've got to. I shouldn't mess with my screen layout, but you can choose your thing and dark mode and all that stuff. Anyway, so this is the bug that I saw. I saw this come by, and it says doesn't save custom panels correctly. Now, this bug actually goes into a little bit of detail here that was kind of useful, because they talk about the layout file and the panel file. Because there's two files that can potentially describe what a panel layout looks like in Ubuntu Mate. A layout file is absolutely required, and a panel layout is like an optional extra, but some layouts absolutely require it. So, down here they talk about how elements in these files are inconsistent, and that was alarming to me, because that shouldn't be the case, and that would explain why in fact it is broken. So if we go and have hello. So if we go and have a look in this directory here, layouts, Hopefully this font is visible on the stream, is it? Maybe not. Let's give it a bit more. Right then. So here are the standard layouts, and as you can see there's a whole bunch here. They've all got dot layout, and one of them has so 11 here. This is actually the Cupertino layout. So a layout file is a bit like a gschema override, if you've ever encountered those before. Gschema overrides being the way that you supply default settings. So they look a bit like that, but they're a little different. But a layout, so it looks a bit like an INI file, you know, if you've ever done anything with that. And it just describes where the elements should be positioned on the screen. And Mate Panel grew a feature some years ago now where we could have different layouts. The different distributions wanted their own look and feel. So we created a means to have these layout files, and Linux Mint ship a layout, and Ubuntu Mate shipped one, and Fedora a different one, and OpenSUSE something else. And that was fine. And then I thought I'd abuse this facility in order to, you know, create additional layouts. The Cupertino one has an additional file here, the .doc file, and that's a very simple file. It just describes which application provides a doc, if there is a doc. So if there's a doc file, it means there's a doc expected to be a part of this layout. And then you'll notice that the Mutiny layout has an accompanying panel file, and the netbook layout has an accompanying panel file. So if we look at the netbook layout, again it's that ini file, and then netbook.panel. I can't actually remember why we've got a panel file in this one, so why would it be? This one has a panel file because one of the applications is, I think that's actually the Mate doc in a small form factor. So these are the additional configurations that go along with that application. So it's more than just the basic panel, it's a component within the panel. So it requires a panel file to describe all of that. And the way this should work is that these top levels and object names should match between the panel file and the layout file. Otherwise bad things happen. And so if we just look here, if we just tail netbook.panel, we've got here an object called indicator applet complete. Yeah, and netbook, thought I'd seen it duplicated, but no. And then the layout also has a thing, and you can see the layout, the layout of the file is a bit different, but the name is consistent between the two. So that's what I would expect to see. But our bug report here says that the second panel has a second instance of window list and show desktop. So they've got the same panel applet in multiple panels at the same time. And they say when it's saved in the layout file, it's using object 0 and object 1, which I would expect because that's what the way that new objects should be added, you know, the named. And then when it's saved, it names them window list applet and show desktop applet. So this reporter goes on to supply an attachment which I looked at, and I was looking down here and I was thinking, well, this all looks perfectly normal. Then I saw this and didn't recognize it. And then I saw that and didn't recognize it. So I went and looked at the Ubuntu Mate source code. And I remembered that somebody added a facility to enhance the customization of what was saved. Let's here somewhere. Here. So there was this commit, which I remember reviewing quite some time ago now. When was this? May last year, so nearly a year ago. And this added, among other things, the ability to preserve those configuration options inside the layout file. So I was like, right, okay, I understand where that came from. And then as I went on a bit more, I then thought, well, hang on a minute, this is strange. It's saving them twice. And here. So I was like, well, that's strange. And then I saw it again. And then again. And then again. And I was like, well, hang on, there's a bug here. It must be saving these settings each time it iterates over an object. So I think that's a bug in addition to, you know, the one that's being reported. But then when we look down here, I think I spotted that they're the same. Here we go. Oh no, it wasn't that one. It's quite difficult to see with this duplication in it actually. Oh, here we go. Then the layout file. So this is where he says he has an object 1 in the panel file. And the panel file is generated by using dconf to back up that whole tree of stuff. So it doesn't do anything clever. It just says I need everything in this namespace and just dumps it out to a file. So it's pretty much raw, you know, how it's configured on the system. So, but I thought that was interesting that he was saying he'd got things being called by their object name here, and then they'd got clever names in the rest of it. So I then need to reproduce this. That's the problem. So and then I went and did a bit more hunting around, and I did a Google search, and the first hit was this. So in the Ubuntu Mate forum, somebody posted in October last year, and they go on to describe the same sort of issue. And this is a fairly long post, but there's some clues in here about things not being named correctly. And then there's some, frankly, disrespectful language. So I read all of this, and there was a lot of misunderstanding about what layout and panel files are for, and there shouldn't be 2 of them, and people were suggesting deleting things because that fixed it for them, which kind of would, but all you're doing is masking the problem by removing one of the files that's actually got a problem. So this is what we're going to have a go at fixing, but first of all, I wasn't able to prove that I had this was a problem. So the first thing I need to do is actually try and recreate the bug. So now I can see that when I restarted, it screwed up my VM where it thinks the mouse is, which is going to be infuriating. So I think we'll just do a quick restart on everything, because otherwise I'm going to be driven mad by that. So let's just, I wonder if a restart will do it. Let's hope so. So this is using QuickEmu again, of course, and what I've done is this is a clean install of Ubuntu Mate 2004 Daily, and then I've restored my .file configurations into it, and logged into a few websites. I've logged into GitHub and Launchpad and the Ubuntu Mate forums. I think that's it. And made sure that my SSH keys are configured appropriately. Oh. Right, okay. Anyway, here we go. Oh, look at this. What is this? Blue man. Okay. I wonder what that's going to tell me. The blue man is the... Okay. We'll look at that one another day. How long has that one been around? Since December. Tangent. Okay, leave that one there. So, where shall I start? Where was I going to go? I was going to try and recreate the problem. So, I think the reporter said that they'd added the same applet to multiple panels. So I thought I would start by doing something like that. So I'm going to add Wander the Fish to that panel. And then I'm going to save that panel layout. I'll just call it fish. Okay. So I should have a custom layout in here now. And there it is. And this familiar dash dash, it flavors this panel layout to say it was derived from the familiar layout. So when you do the panel switching now, it knows it should do the same things that apply to the familiar layout when it's switching layouts. Gosh, okay. Hello Ferren, hello Tony M, hello Paul M, hello Mark, hello Dan, Diddle Dan that is, TC and Bob and Rubis Islander. So far you missed me explaining the scope of the bug, and I'm now about to try and see if I can reproduce it. So if I let's just open up the two files here, because these are what gets saved by so first of all, the layout is the thing. This is more programmatically generated by Mate Tweak itself, and that's fine. Okay, here's this duplication that we saw again. So we're seeing these custom settings get saved. Why are they appearing after? Ah, okay. Okay, so these are the top levels. So the top panel and the bottom panel, these two lines here define the two panels. And then this is the first applet. And then we see the custom settings being saved. This is then the next applet, which is the Firefox launcher, and then we see these custom settings again. So it looks like the panels are made up of two things ostensibly, top levels and objects. It looks like these custom settings are being saved every time it iterates over an object. So that's a bug. But somewhere at the end here I should have, there we go, there's my fish applet, object fish applet, and it tells me that it's not locked, but it is in the top panel and its position on the panel and all of that stuff. So that looks fine, other than the duplication. And then this is the panel file, which is dumped by dconf. Hello Polaron, how you doing? It's also on the Ubuntu Mate QA team. So, oh yes, I did. This is because I fiddled with that earlier. That's why that's in there. That's fine. So there's the Firefox launcher. Where's fish? Okay, so here we go. This is the problem. So this is what that bug reporter was saying, is that in the panel file, the object name is object 0, and in the layout file, it's fish applet. And because those two don't align, it could potentially add that applet twice when you restore it. Does that happen? How do I... Oh, because I can only restore it once. So, what if I save it again? Let's go back to familiar. And then go to fish. Have I actually got two? Okay. Right. Let's add, so down here I'm going to add another fish applet in the other shell, because they were talking about having the same applets in multiple panels. So I've now got, in fact, let's move them to a different position so we know. Come and sit right next to me. Right, so let's... Ugh. So let's save fish again. I'll use the same name. Oh, that's just a deprecation. Okay, we can live with that. Okay, so I think they should have updated. So object 0. Did that update? Should have auto reloaded, shouldn't it? It hasn't. Ah, there we go. Ah, oh. Oh. Now I've got a thing called... Oh, man. So now I've got a thing called fish applet. 826. And this is the one that's in the bottom, which is also called object 0. Or is now called object... Oh, that's screwed, isn't it? Because you can see by the position here, it's clearly this bottom one. And you can see it's in the bottom panel. So let's just look for all of the fish. Fish applet there, that's fine. That's the big list of everything. Oh, yes, that's right. That's the one we saw. That's the one in the top. And then that's the one in the bottom. And then we're back to the top again. Okay. That's wrong. What if I back it up from the command line? So we'll back up this again and we'll call it fish. No. Oh no, that's not how we do it, is it? Can't back up with that tool. No, let's add another thing here. Let's add an application launcher for the terminal. And let's add another one of those down here. So I should now have two terminals being added at the same time, as opposed to what I did before. So let's add an, in fact, let's do it for no, not Firefox. Right, image viewer, go. There it is, close. Right, now let's go and save that one again and see what we get, and we'll call this save as, I don't know, thing. Right. So it still knows it's derived from familiar, so that's good. Okay, so we've got a top and a bottom. We've still got that duplication. The layout should be pretty much... That's called Object Launcher. That's worrying. Oh gosh, this is broken. Look at this. So the object name is launcher. They have to be distinctive, and they're not. And they're referring to different things. So I think if I restored this, one of them wouldn't get restored because they have the same name. So that's something to consider. And then if we look at this one, here we go. Look, they have distinctive names. So unsurprisingly, the panel file is good and fine because it has distinctive names for the objects. But the layout file, which is actually generated by Mate Tweak, is broken. Okay. Okay. I think what I'll do is I'm just going to restore my fish layout and then restore my thing layout. So there we go. It didn't work. Look, I've only got one fish now. This is what I suspected. So I now have one fish restored, and if I restore thing 2, I added, what did I add launchers for? The image viewer and the shell. One of those I think is going to be missing. Yes, so the one that was the shell up here has gone, and I've just got the image viewer down here. Okay. I need a sip of beer in a moment to think. So Dan is saying that last instance is a generic object n. Yeah, because it's actually being dumped by dconf Dan. So that object number is the correct naming. I say correct. It would work. They need to be the same. So let's go and have a look. So where is the code for this? This is in Ubuntu Mate Tweak. And there's 2 files that control this stuff. There's Mate Tweak itself. Hello. And then there is util, that one, which is the thing that assists. So I think I'm just gonna close the fish one because that wasn't as interesting as the thing. So let's just look at where save happens. Save panels, here we go. So this determines what the layout name is, gets that custom prefix to preserve what its heritage is, and here we go. So if a doc, then we call the helper to install the doc file by the looks of it. No, the whole thing. Okay, so it does here, it calls out to the helper and does a back out using the layout name. And then here it effectively installs the layout. It's been a while since I've looked at that. Okay, so this is the thing it shells out to. And if I go to the bottom here, it's got some basic entry points. So backup is what it did. So backup layout. Here we go. So we have a bunch of keys. Ah, gosh, okay. Yeah. this bit of code was derived from something that we used in Mate itself initially. I said that we used these layout files so distros could ship their own layouts, and this was adapted from that code so that you could, as the Fedora maintainer for example, you could create a layout and run a bit of code and it made you a layout file which you could embed in your distro. So this is adapted from that, which is what all of this is about. And it's, the layout files don't have to be as verbose as everything that the configuration can do, so it basically has like a sanitized list of just the bare bones of what it needs to save. So paths to the objects, so these are where the applets are stored and these are where the panels themselves are stored. And then we iterate over the top levels, so this is top panel and bottom panel in what we're looking at here. Okay, just change the case of things if they're booleans because reasons. Check if it's a valid key, and if it is, append it, and then new line, and then we go around the objects doing the same thing and work out what the name should be. Okay, that we'll come back to that, and then we append that to the name. Oh, so this is where we get this. This is where we get object launcher. No, let's look at an applet. Fish applet. So here we say if the object type is an applet, then take a look at its applet ID and split it on. Okay, we're going to need to look at deconventing. Visualize this. Panel, org panel, objects, fish applet. Okay. So, applet IID, here, right, okay, so it's splitting from the last semicolon onwards, which gives us the name fish applet. And then here, it lower cases that, which gives us that. And there's no referencing in there, so that's why you get the same name. Okay. That's why that's not working. Oh, and that's why this code exists. So, this bit of code exists so because, like I say, the original tool was designed to create you a minimal layout file you could ship in your distro. So what this code is doing is naming things as clearly as possible so you can look at the layout and you can understand what it means, rather than saying object 0179. It replaces those objects with the actual name of the app or whatever. Okay, that makes sense. So reading on. I wonder if we need to do that. Okay. And then it writes everything out here. And get non-panel settings, layout. So this is a separate method that writes all of this stuff. This is the stuff we're seeing duplicated. So okay, I'll come back to that. I can't hold this many things in my brain at the same time. And then here is the process that does the deconf dump. We don't need to check that because we know that's doing the right thing. So I suppose the first thing I'm interested to know is what is obj? Let's do the tried and tested. Let's just dangle this out there. So user lib Mate tweak, I think it's in tweak helper, and backup test backup. Okay. Did that do anything? That didn't. Oh. Let's try that again, shall we? Oh, I suppose I could. No, I'm going to need to copy it because it's got policy kit. CP that file that I've just edited locally to user lib. Oh, come on. So what I haven't done is restored my fish shell, and oh my goodness, do I miss it. That should do it. Let's just put a -v on that because right. Good. Let's try that back up again. Okay, so that's printing the oh, this is going to be easy. Let's add another fish. We do love Wanda. Let's change it. Let's change it to that one. Total frames of animation. There we go. We've got 2 fish now. So let's do that back up again. Ha! Object 0. But if I save this layout, it will turn that object 0 into fish applet, which will then mean it's got 2 objects with the same name, which is no good. Is it really going to be as simple as this? Cast it just to be certain. It's a string now. Is that going to work? Toggle line comment. So. Right. Oh, I removed the print statement, didn't I? So I'll have to actually look and see what I've got in my user share. That's a bit premature. I'll take panel layouts. Where's the thing called test? Oh, it's not saving them. Okay, so I actually need to do it with Tweak itself. Tweak is the thing that has PK rules. Okay, so save as test. Okay, what have we got then? So, in the layout file, which is the one widget, oh, we've got all this crap. Hey, look at that. Object 0. Okay, I like that. And there's fish applet. Okay, that could be it. Let's go back to Tweak and set it back to fish. This is the busted one, but then if I come back to test, I should have 2 fish. Didn't save the preferences though. Okay, I do have 2 fish though. Right, okay, I'll just think on that for a moment. Right, let's see how we're doing here. Oh gosh, I've missed loads. Right. Okay, yeah, you're all chatting about what Kai's working on as well. Kai, you should do a live stream. We could all give you a hand. Yeah, bong bong. See, all this tab complete is because I'm using Bash, and I feel like a fish out of water. Right, okay. Yes, okay, right. So, however, this is partially fixed. It's not completely fixed. So, we also got this duplication. So let's go and look at what's going on there. So that actually worked. So what I've done there is, instead of trying to programmatically derive the name of the object and therefore creating duplicate object names, I am using the name that the object has already been assigned, which means if you're modifying an existing layout that uses clean names, your new applets that you add, or launchers for that matter, I need to test launchers, should have now distinctive names. Let's add a that you'll do file manager. Right, you're both in the same panel, so okay. I think we'll just open up another tab here in where I need to be and use a share. Okay. So actually I only need to look at the layout files. The panels are irrelevant because they're... There it is. Yes, so that launcher is now called Object 1 as well. Oh, is that okay? Yes, because everything... yes, because it's in a different... It's an object in a different panel. So the name can be the same because it's the parent reference that distinguishes them. Okay. Okay. Let's try and identify what was going on here then, because we've now got this. Oh, Alexa, shut up! You do like to butt in. Right. So this is all of the custom layout stuff. Collect simple settings. We don't need the dock thing. So get non-panel settings does a layout extend on get Maximus and get this window control thing. So where does this get called? Only two. Layout extend. And the other one's going to be itself, isn't it? Okay. Well, this has got to be wrong then. Ha! It's inside a loop. In fact, it's in exactly where I said it was going to be. It's inside an iterator over the objects. So, that is simply that. Because Python uses indentation as part of the syntax of the language, that code block is basically inside the loop. So, now it's not. So that should... Holy cow, this could be it. Let's go and save another layout. I tell you what, I'm going to start with a clean one. So let's start with familiar. So back to defaults. We'll add backups and character map up here, and we'll add transmission and actual. There we go. So we've got 4 launchers, 2 top, 2 bottom, and I suppose I should add my fish back, shouldn't I? So we'll add Wanda back in, and she's down the bottom. Fine, doesn't matter where. So tweak again and save as Wanda. I really need to fix that as well. Right, close that. So, what did we just save? These 2 files. And I don't need to look at the panel. I've now confirmed that there's nothing wrong with the panel files. It's these layout files. Technically, everything should be at the bottom. Object 4. Fish applet. Awesome. That's good. Oh. See what I forgot to do. That's annoying. Right. Close that. I forgot to copy my modified file over. Hello? Right, okay. Let's try that again. Let's save that again. Ah, didn't mean to start shutdown. Save as Wanda. Okay. And we just care about the layout. Huh. So the first thing I'm seeing is this is no longer duplicated through the file. It just appears once at the end, which is correct. And we now have an object 3 and a 4 and a 2. So we've got our launchers there, which are the bottom ones, and then the fish. And then at the top we've got the character map and transmission. In fact, I should actually get the panel file and confirm that those object numbers are the same. They should be now though. So object 4, yes, okay, that's looking much better. So let's just go back and read the bug report. Is that everything we needed to do? Oh, we've been, so what did he say? Oh yeah, he said something about monitors. This bug has been reported but also found 24. Okay, he has an external monitor. Well, bother. How do I fiddle this? Have a think, have a think, have a think. So I need to confirm this works correctly. If it's on different displays, that's... Oh, I don't want to get into changing quick MU to support multi-head. I wonder if there's another way we can do this. Probably. Right. So Derek is asking, rather than object 0, wouldn't you want it to be fish applet 0 or fish applet 1? That's what I was thinking when I first started down this path, but actually, no. The solution I found is really simple and is definitely going to work every time. If I start changing the names of things, I've got to make sure then that when I do a dconf dump, that is programmatically changed as well. We know that dconf dump is going to be correct, so it's easier to get the programmatic thing that the helper does, the Mate tweak helper, to be the same. And that's what we've been able to achieve here. So this is good. In fact, I'm quite happy about this. However, I think the only way I can simulate this is to create a new panel. Oh, conveniently, let's put it there. Let's now change all of these. So 256. Don't auto hide it because turn that on. Change the background because I think that this may work. So let's change that background and then we'll close that. Add a workspace switcher. And there. I realise this looks strange. Right, let's save that. And we'll call this. I don't know what to call it. There we go. It's now called Winkle. Okay, so that panel layout is there. Let's get so if we now look at, we don't need the wander thing anymore, that's served. We've got a Winkle layout, which, okay, so we've got a new top level, that's good, which is orientated to the right. And down here we should have somewhere a workspace switcher. There it is, which is not locked, but it's the right thing. And then this is the dump of the same thing. There we go. Right. Okay. So, looks like these two keywords might be important. Monitor and screen. Enable buttons, that's that other thing. Oh Christ, how much of this do I really want to... So, I've tinkered. When you do a deconf dump, it will only save the keys that are different from the defaults. So I tried to change as many of the defaults as possible to see what it would show me. And that was quite helpful because it's shown me that I definitely need to store monitor and screen in the layout file. And perhaps I should probably store those two as well. They look like they could be useful. These are very much going to be dynamic based on each person's screen resolution. So what we'll do is add those to the list of approved. This is a top level thing. We'll add those to the list of approved words. So this will also make it possible to have slightly richer default layouts as well. Screen. And if I'm changing this now, I may as well make it alphabetical. I've got expand already, okay. And orientation. In fact, let's make this bigger because. Okay. Thank you. I do appreciate. I wish I could pay better attention to the chat because I can see people. Oh, that's a problem. How do I need to make this a bit smaller. To edit you properties. Let's make you like 48. Okay, there we go. That's a bit better. I'm not sure menu bar has an applet ID. Huh. That's typo. Okay. Let's copy that file in. I think if I copy that over the top, my layout file should now include screen and monitor information. I wonder if it will all... Oh man, will it always... Oh, I think I'm going to creating a new problem by solving this one, but okay. So we'll save as Winkle. Okay. Let's go and have a look at the panel. Oh, that's fine. Hey! So, that's got a screen, but not a monitor. Okay, that means that the monitor wasn't set for those. Hang on. No, that's not what I saved. What I saved is the layout. Here we go. Layouts. So these are all at the top. There we go. Good. Right. Okay. And it saved the correct size. Could just changed it to 48. Right. Expand. Why is expand not changed? Was that what it was called? Expand equals true. Okay. Feeling pretty good about this now. Right, what will I figure out eventually? Oh, hello, Stuart Langridge. Right, okay. I imagine there may be useful conversation back here if Stuart's joined. I'll have to... So Stuart's asking, if I don't save the X and Y coordinate positions, how does Mate know how to put the panel back where you told it to be? So it's quite clever actually. If you just give it incrementing numbers that aren't absolute coordinates, like 10, 20, 30, 40, it will say, oh, well, I'll put this one in first. I'm going to put this one in. Ah, but the thing that's sitting beneath it is bigger than that, so I'll move it along to the next spot. And the reason why I'm not storing X and Y and all of that stuff in the layout is because the panel file that gets generated by dconf has all of that data in it. The purpose of the layout is to be a a minimal version to scaffold the struts and get the panel refresh to happen, and then the panel file is overlaid on top, which then provides all of the additional preferences and settings on top of that basic panel layout. Missing a comma after the first one. Thank you. See, this is why it's good to read the chat. Thank you very much. Drawer has top level. Ah, Tony M spotted the typo as well. Nice one. Thank you for that. This is great. Maybe you should do. I should figure out how to do like screen sharing. Comma after enable buttons. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Missing comma. Missing. It didn't blow up though, did it? That's curious in itself. Did I actually copy the file over? Right. Let's go and find out. Let's go and put the file in the right place. Oh. Let's try that again, shall we? This file. Tweak. What did we call it? Winkle. Save as Winkle. This should do the right thing now. Maybe this is why I couldn't understand why one of the things was missing. Save that. So all I need now is the Winkle ones. There we go. So bottom. There we go. Now this is good. So we've got that one, expand false. Okay, good. That's got everything I expected to have in it now. Cool. I'm very pleased with that. I do believe that's it. Astonishingly, I think that could be it. I'm just gonna have a little look through the chat because now I'm feeling a little bit relieved, like we may be onto something there. No, so when you create, and so Stuart's asking in the chat, if you create a new panel and you haven't positioned it somewhere particular, then that information isn't saved in the layout file. No, it is. It's saved here. So you have an orientation for a panel, orientation right, and a panel knows that if it's in the right orientation where its origin points are, and similarly if it's at the top or the bottom or the left, it knows what the origin points are. Yeah, I think I fixed the bug with the missing commas. Thank you everyone for that. Oh goodness, everything just jumped on a lot then. What happened there? So Big Daddy says, can I ask where is the music track from? If you look in the description for this video, you will find a link to the music source that I'm using. It's a massive playlist of stuff that I've got sitting in Audacious, and I use Audacious to just play this, how many, 20 hours of music on a shuffle loop. Dalton's just telling him the same thing. Brilliant. Add that comma. Yes, we've now added the comma. The comma's been added. Yes, I have figured it out. Is this like watching someone playing a computer game when they're not doing the thing you want to do? He all sat there like willing me to go and fix the commas. Right, okay. I need a wingman or someone, you know, somebody to look at the comments and speak in my ear. Right, okay. Gosh, there's a lot of chat. Well done, Dan, for being the first to spot it. Although you weren't, you were the second. Go and check the chat history. Oh goodness, it's all gone on again. Right. I think we've got a winner there. So isn't that everything now? We've got monitors and screens saved. We even got that bonus one for draw. So what does that diff look like? Oh, we're not in the right file. Nice. Quite small, really. Right. Didn't change anything else, just that one file. So I know people talking about the music. I have found another source of royalty-free, not copyright encumbered music. That I may use in later streams. It's a thing called Stream Beats, and it's deliberately designed to be, you know, it's loads of music similar to what you're listening to now. Deliberately designed to be, you know, royalty-free, copyright-free, that you can use on YouTube and all the rest of it. It was created by a prominent Twitch streamer and YouTuber who was getting sick of copyright strikes erroneously, so they've made an entire catalogue of their own music and are making it available on this understanding. And they're doing all the necessary paperwork and getting all the legal entities in YouTube and Spotify and all these other places, so you can't get your content struck down for it being incorrect. Right, okay, I haven't read all of the comments, but I think I'm caught up sufficiently. So my idea now is that we commit that, and then I derive a patch from it, and then patch the deb and upload that to a PPA, and then the QA team can then confirm that this is indeed an excellently crafted patch with some debugging. Thank you very much to the chat room. I didn't want to do that. Oh, it's a broken icon. I wonder what's up in there. I didn't want to do that. Right, let's open a repository. This is going to be... What am I editing? Ubuntu Mate something. Mate tweak. Okay. Don't know if that's particularly readable. Let's make it a bit bigger. So let's unstage that file, because there was several fixes in here, wasn't there? The first was this. Just that piece there, which was that moment where I'm sitting right in front of the oh, we don't need you anymore either. Hello? Whoa, 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 what's going on there? Right. Then this is making sure that the object names are always distinctive. And this is, well, technically that is and the last one was simply a... Okay, we need to branch this, don't we? Let's call this 187225. 1872255. There we go. Okay. Error failed authenticating with the agent. Really? Why? Well, let's not worry. This is a temporary setup, so is this the right place? Okay, so there's our PR. There's our branch, and not PR yet, is it? Right, okay, so I'm going to submit this as a PR because then I can just generate my diff from it and apply that to a dev package. You've seen me do that sort of thing again. 83 watching and only 25 thumbs up. Alan is disappointed. Yeah, it's the thumbs down from the Ubuntu haters that I like the most. Right. And also, if you're here and you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. Subscribe now. We need subscribers. 2,000 subscribers, in fact, to unlock the community tab. So this is panel. Right. What was the other thing? Store. Okay, that is my pull request. Cool. Right. Yes, Unchained is right. Come on, everyone. Smash that like button. Subscribe. Ding the bell. All of those things. Yes, this is it. Shickle, this is the ongoing pursuit of, you know, crushing all of the big bugs. This is a continuation of that, you know, paper cut exercise we embarked on for 1910. But it's getting close now. Release candidate images will get created at the end of the coming week. So want to get these bug fixes landed. So now I've shown this trick before. You stick .patch on the end of a PR and you get a patch file, and you'll see here patch 1 of 4. And these are a bit of a pain to try and apply in Debian. So what you do is you change the .patch to a diff and you get a nice squashed diff of all of the changes in that PR. Perfect for applying as patches. So I need to go and do development Debian PKG, and I had to do something. It's Mate tweak we're patching, so we're fine, aren't we? So let's just go and grab that patch. This is definitely an upstream patch, and this is try and actually put this in the correct series file this time. I created a whole new location for it the other day. We need to do that. Good. I will need to. Oh man. I wonder if I've actually preserved this Debian rules get org source. Gosh, that's good. I tell you what, I really miss having my fish shell. This is like so. It's like being in the dark ages. If you haven't tried the fish shell out, it's worth learning. It's worth those few days of feeling, you know, uncomfortable, because the power, flexibility and efficiencies you get back in the long term are just amazing. Right then. Okay then. I've got the source file, so now I should just be able to... But, oh God, none of this stuff is in my history. I'm gonna actually have to just come up here. I don't have to remember any of this stuff anymore. Oh. Right. Oh. Somehow my... Okay, it's back in there. There we go. Oh, bother. I tell you what, let's do this differently. let's do this entirely differently. Let's do this. Let's go up. Woo! Take that away. And let's do this. So I'll do away with the VM because I've actually got everything I need on this machine here. So let's go, and that's not where I want to be, is it? Head. So that's the one that we uploaded the other day. So let's go and let's just bring you. Oop, that was exciting. Let's bring you down here. So what we're going to do is go and apply that patch to the Debian packaging that I've got here and get it in a PPA. Okay. Oh, goodness me. I think I'm going to have to learn some... why is that being impossible to drag around? There we go. Right then, that's back where we were. So we've now got that Debian patches series. Good. Now I don't have to think about what I'm doing anymore because Fish will do it for me. So that has now integrated that patch. So let's actually edit that file, bring up the change log. Oops. Let's add both of those files to the Debian packaging. It was something like 1872255. Was that it? 72255. Between dot and dot layout files. Okay. Minus V. 2004 Ubuntu 3. Why didn't that change? What? What the actual? What's going on there? Oh, okay. I thought code would have auto-loaded that. Right then, let's just align this. Right then, so this is a patch to the existing Debian packaging, and I'm doing this because it's feature free, so I want it to be clear. This is a patch fixing a bug, and it's not a new upstream release of a package that's potentially introducing new features. I do believe this is it, so we will build that, jam it in a PPA. Not that one. Right, at that point... What? Unreleased. Oh, fair enough. What? Why has this stopped working? Martinez, I think. I'm just having a look in the chat here to see what's going on. Big Pod says, I really like that you do this stuff and showcase how some of this stuff is done. Thank you, Dan. I couldn't see the wood for the trees there. Let's just grab the file from up here and make sure we've got the right one. Thank you, Dan. Right, okay. Right, I'm going to catch up. Big Pod, you're welcome. I'm glad you find it useful. At least I hope some of you find it useful. I mean, it's also very nice for me to actually have people pointing out my mistakes and helping me move along. So I can hand the baton now a little bit to Bill and the rest of the QA team. That package will be built in a few minutes, and they can go to town and bang on it and see if they can break it, particularly dual screen configurations. So I think we're probably in pretty good shape there. I will in fact, what we'll do is I won't push that to Debian yet. I'm going to assume it's going to be fine, but we'll wait for Bill and co to confirm that in a little bit, and then I'll push it up. So Ubuntu Mate QA people, it is over to you. I get to use my Stream Deck again. Right, brace for impact, he says. Let's do that thing where I actually choose the right screen, and then I do that. There we go. Right, okay. I think we're kind of done there for the most part. Thank you all very much for stopping by. Do subscribe, do like, do submit bugs, because as you will have seen, it was only a bug report that actually alerted me to this problem in the end. People have been discussing it in various places for months, and I had no idea. But tell you what, file a bug where developers actually look, and stuff happens. So there's a tale to be told on that front there. So that'll do for now. We don't need to go on any more than that. That was a little bit of fun. Thank you for all stopping by. I will be doing another one of these tomorrow, and I think we'll have a change of pace entirely. I'm not quite sure if I've got all of the bits worked out how to do it yet, but the next one of these I'm going to do something different. But I may struggle with the equipment. And Kai is also going to be doing a QA session on his channel soon, so everyone can click on Kai Likes Linux name there and head over to his channel. And I'll be uploading this video to Library soon after it comes out of the mangling that YouTube gives it. So thank you all for coming. Thank you for your support and good humour whilst I stumbled through that there. I think we've actually got a decent fix though, so that's quite good. And I will see you all in the next one. So, bye for now. Thanks very much for coming. Oh, I've got to do this. I've got to remember to do that.